An appeals court upheld Judge Arthur Engoron's gag order preventing Donald Trump from attacking any of the court employees in his ongoing civil fraud trial in New York, where State Attorney General Leticia James is asking the former president to pay at least $250 million in damages for defrauding lenders, insurers, and the government. That trial is expected to wrap up in the middle of January, just in time for Donald Trump's E. Jean Carroll trial, which starts on January 15th. That's over and above the 4 criminal trials he has next year. Donald Trump promised to take the stand on Monday, but like Rudy in his civil lawsuit, backed out at the last minute. Again, Trump, like Rudy, has already been found guilty. Trump has been found guilty of fraud, and the trial, like Rudy's defamation suit, has been held only in order to determine just how much Trump and his 2 sons should be punished. Judge Arthur Engoron has yet to come up with the dollar amount on the fine. Initially, New York State Attorney General Leticia James asked for $250 million, but some are saying the fine could be in the billions. And Judge Engoron has already ordered the Trump Organization to turn its 2 big properties in Manhattan, that would be Trump Tower and 40 Wall Street, to turn them over to liquidators so they can be sold off. Judge Engoron has ordered Trump's business to, as they say, turn off the lights. Unfortunately, it's all subject to appeal. The New York Times reports that Trump might do better in appeals court than we all thought. The New York Times did some interviews with experts in this field, and they say Judge Engoron might not have the authority to shut Trump's businesses down. According to the New York Times, some experts maintain that with the right attorneys, I don't think he's got them right now, but with the right attorneys, Trump could be able to salvage the properties by agreeing to dissolve all the shell companies that currently own the 2 properties that have been ordered liquidated. He could dissolve those shell companies and at the same time create new shell companies that can legally take on ownership of all of Trump's real estate. To be rich and white. So, while people like me have been getting tumescent over the thought of Trump and his children never being able to do business again in New York, losing their signature properties, the Times, I got to brace you, prepare you for this. The New York Times said yesterday it is conceivable that an appeals court will reverse Judge Arthur Engoron's ruling and create what the Times calls a minor irritation for Trump, where he has to fill out new paperwork. I know. Well, while I'm piling on bad news, but I do have some hopeful news at the end. So let me just pile on a little bad news here. Many are saying Trump will have the nomination locked up by March. And you know, I've been talking about Nikki Haley. It's just not happening. Things can change very quickly. This is like right around now. Things could change. It doesn't look like it's changing. And as you know, if I say something is going to happen, it doesn't happen. If I say something's not going to happen, it happens. If I root against somebody, they become very successful. So I'm going to try a new tack this morning. I have accepted that Donald Trump is going to get the nomination and that his real estate holdings will not be wiped out. I'm accepting this. I'm predicting it. And this is good news because you know how my predictions always turn out. I should charge for these services. If you want to be successful, pay me to hate you or make a prediction about you. So I am predicting, I've accepted that Trump is going to be the nominee. And I'm being philosophical. Maybe it's for the best. Maybe by the time the general election rolls around, we'll say, you know what? Turns out Trump was easier to beat than Nikki Haley. That's my prediction. Things are getting dark. This is my motivational speech now to keep your chin up. First, I did you all the favor by predicting that Trump was going to get the nomination and that he's going to get to keep his properties. You're welcome. Okay? Now I'm going to give you a little inspiration here. The days are getting shorter, unless you're in New Zealand or Australia, which I'm told are actual places. But apparently they're upside. I think they all stand on their head in Australia, because right now summer is about to start in Australia and New Zealand. Can anybody explain how that is possible? Santa Claus comes down an air conditioning vent. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Nobody can explain this to me. How is it possible that Australians celebrate Christmas in the summer? Anyway. But for the rest of the world, and by the rest of the world I mean New York City, the days are getting shorter, especially the next 7 days. Pay attention to your calendar. If you're getting depressed and sad, it's the season for that. This is why they invented Christmas and Hanukkah. Hanukkah isn't a real holiday. It's just like people get depressed, so they invented Hanukkah. Fake holiday. It really is, by the way. We are gearing up for the winter solstice, unless you live in Australia. And I'm not sure people, I can't, it's a goof. They're lying to us. For the rest of us, the winter solstice, I have a lot of listeners in Australia and New Zealand, and I love them. They're great. What was I talking about? The winter solstice for normal people, not Australians, is right upon us. I think I'm probably getting this wrong, but I think the winter solstice is December 21st. Sure, I'm sure this is the Easter egg. This is the little treat for the people who are coiled like snakes in the grass, waiting. No, it's South Pacific, not the King and I. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's December 21st. And the week before the winter solstice is always the gloomiest because it's getting darker outside and darker and darker. But then something happens. On December 22nd, it starts getting lighter. And December 23rd is lighter than December 22nd. It starts getting light. That's the great thing about the first day of winter, because that means it's going to start getting lighter again. So this is the gloomiest I'm going to be. Well, no, actually, until December 22nd. Allow yourself to be gloomy. You're supposed to be. Check in with me in about a week on December 22nd. But right now, it's getting dark. It's always darkest before you see the light. That's my uncle Arnie was a proctologist, and he taught me that. He always used to say it's always darkest before you see the light. So between now and the solstice, get into it. Get into the gloom. It's time to catastrophize. Trump is not going to prison. He's going to be nominated. And he, not America, is going to live happily ever after. Go there. Imagine the worst. But I have faith. I do. I have faith. Watch what happens on December 22nd. I believe that Biden's poll numbers are plummeting right now. Trump is soaring right now. But this is the season of darkness. So, of course, Trump would look like he's winning. He's the angel of darkness. But everything changes starting December 22nd. We begin to see the light. Unless, of course, you live in Australia, in which case Trump's going to win and it's the end of America.